What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk about ProText Mobility, ticker is TXTM, which is still one of the hottest over-the-counter stocks out there. I want to give you some good updates that everyone wants to know, technical analysis, why tentatively we've gone down as much as we have. Before I get into any of that, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. Over and above that, I just want to give a general update as far as the interview with Dylan and possibly Dr. J. I did submit the questions to them, they reviewed it, and we are good to go. So we're going to be setting out a time most likely this week, if not early next week, on a actual interview. And these questions that was given to them are very important in the grand scheme of things, and hopefully will give a little bit more enlightenment to a lot of the tribe out there. So make sure you guys do subscribe. The actual interview is going to be posted on Financial Journey, so my other channel. So go in the description below, pop over there and subscribe. But getting right to it though, this was posted on Twitter, and I think that this is a very good encumbering question that everyone wants to know. So ProText had the big run. Is it done? And I think that's a more common thing what people are assuming with over-the-counter stocks. Typically, they go through a big rally, FOMO kicks in or whatever it is, pump and dump if you want to call it that, then it just dwindles out. People want to know, is that the case with ProText? So a couple outliers I just wanted to explain to you. The volume is starting to pick back up, which typically does not happen with pump and dumps. Typically, when it does have the first initial rally, you get a huge amount of influx of capital, and then it basically dwindles out to nothing. And that's basically 9 times out of 10 what happens. When it comes down to ProText, there's a lot of big things that people are looking forward to. Right now, it is only 7 million as a market cap, which is extremely small. So I think based on everything it actually can offer for the long term and promises from the management team, it goes to show that this is why so many people are really looking at ProText, because 7 million is very small in comparison to what it actually should be. My own 2 cents. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. One thing as well you just want to watch for is the volume. So the volume is starting to pick back up, like I already just mentioned. So 92 million right now. The average is 140. So definitely it is getting up there. And in addition to that, shorts. Shorts are also closing out the positions, showing it's not really incentivizing for them to continue to increase their position, which could be always seen as a very positive thing. But at the end of the day, why have we gone down as much as we have been? And unfortunately, I feel that the biggest answer to that question is ourselves. We have such high expectations for ProText. We have to take a step back, realize A, it's an over-the-counter stock, and B, things don't happen overnight. So a lot of people seem to be very fixating on the website, which in reality is going to be a very big catalyst once it does get going. But I think there is too much importance on that, because especially for a over-the-counter stock, and you can already tell based on recent conferences and how they actually speak, how it is in PR, they're very calculated. So I wouldn't really want a website to go out there if it wasn't 100% ready. And I think that might be some of the underlying reasons why it's not out there. So I think in reality, a lot of investors just need to realize if they want to make the big money, they need to be patient in the grand scheme of things. So that's my own 2 cents on how I see things and how I've interpreted more so the sentiment going on from the investors, which is ultimately, like I said, aiding in us going down. One thing as well that was posted based on stock goals was this. So this is a very good article, and it talks on basically how South Africa's cannabis industry is very advantageous and has better long-term results than anything basically in North America. So I think this is a very good article. It goes back to the point why it is very beneficial to invest in ProText, which is only a 7 million market cap company. So when good news does happen on this will go up very, very aggressively. But I want to explain to you some technicals on why we're actually stuck at this 0.004 mark. And that is unfortunately that dreaded 100-day moving average. So as far as on the actual chart, I have the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So we have gone down quite a lot. You have to realize that based on stochastic, we were very much overbought. We went from overbought to now oversold. But despite that though, we still do have a little bit more of a bearish sentiment. So the red line above the black, number of buyers is pretty stagnant over the last little bit, which is a very good thing, especially for over-the-counter stocks. RSI is also at 40. And on the actual chart, we are exactly at that 100-day moving average, like I said. So ahead of us though, we do have a lot of resistance points. band. So that is being the central Bollinger Band and also the 50-day moving average, which is a little bit more of a difficult one as well. So in reality though, we potentially could go up very fast if there is positive catalysts coming from that. Like I said, the interview should yield a lot of good things, so make sure you guys do subscribe to both channels. I'm going to be doing and continuing to do a lot of good updates on this channel. So over-the-counter stocks. On a side note, if you guys have any other requests for over-the-counter stocks that you really find advantageous to look at, definitely let me know in the comments below and I can address those, go over a review, whatever floats your boat, things like that. So generally speaking, I feel on the actual chart, it doesn't look the most optimistic based on the sentiment. And like I said, I think we are our own biggest enemies in this case. But at the end of the day, if technically the website gets launched, it meets everyone's expectations, we should easily go up just based on that information. But outside of that though, people also just need to realize that ProText is a long-term investment. And most likely though, once it does get fully established, up and running, once the reverse merger fully goes through and they start to merge assets and do all of the actual definite stuff, then at that stage we'll actually start to trend up significantly higher. So until then, you just have to be patient. I know that is a very difficult thing for a lot of investors to do, especially when it comes to over-the-counter stocks. A lot of people want instant gratification overnight. So that's my own 2 cents on how I see things and how I interpret that. Just be patient with ProText. You do have a diamond in the rough, and as of right now, they have not really done anything to deter a lot of us. So let me know your thoughts on ProText in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I greatly appreciate that. And with that said though, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on ProText.